Goodness.
Yeah, so we're going to start today. Actually, our call series is almost over. We'll continue to do one-on-ones, but we're almost done with the information. It's really kind of a business basic program too. It's trying to trying to understand that there's four pillars in our business, and our passion, our skill, our will, our vision is part of having a really strong basic business. And as we have a strong basic business and we're being more intentional about bookings and host coaching and customer care and recruiting, it kind of all comes together eventually. It's not anything we stop doing. This is part of having a strong business. So today we are going to just talk about, I'd like to talk about some objections that you might be seeing with when you're reaching out to your customers. And we know that people can blow us off pretty easily when we're reaching out. Because Facebook, I mean, if somebody messages me, I don't necessarily have to respond. And I find that definitely. It's best to always end your message with a question for them to answer. You get a better response that way, definitely. You never want to just end it with a statement, right? But I mean, we know that people will blow us off. If they're not, it doesn't necessarily mean they're not interested. They might be just super busy. I mean, I'm doing taxes right now, and it's like I don't want to think about anything but that. And I've been invited to a couple parties, and it's like I can't even concentrate on any of that because I'm doing taxes. So, we do tend to blow people off. But the best thing to do is to reach out and to try to establish a rapport before we have to ask for the booking, to try to touch base with people, every month and just say, hey, just wanted to see how this is working out. Just wanted to show you, like I'm sending out new spring catalog links right now. So just wanted you to see what's new for spring. Can't wait to share with you some of the really fun products. And then maybe I won't even ask for the booking right then. I'll just let them kind of look at the catalog and come back to them and say, hey, did you get a chance to look at the catalog yet? I was thinking of you because the Rock and Rock Crocs are on special in March, that kind of thing. So that could be a second Facebook chat. So the point is we don't want to just bombard them with one single Facebook chat really long that they're not going to answer or blow us off with. Objections, we hear objections a lot. What are some of the objections you've heard, Erin, as you've reached out to some of your customers?
I'm too busy.
Okay.
Whether it's school or work or whatever, they usually tell me how many hours they're working too.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's a big one. I hear that a lot too. Okay. And then what's another one maybe?
I don't have enough friends.
Okay. Yeah.
Another one that I got recently was a friend of mine sells Pampered Chef, so I don't think I should have a party with someone else. And I'm like, okay, right? I'm like, okay, that's fine. Loyalty is big.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's talk about what you can say to somebody who says, I'm too busy. Because when we're a new consultant, oftentimes we'll just say, okay, well, maybe down the line. What do you think? Maybe down the line? Question mark, and we just leave it at that. But there's a skill that we need to learn to overcome objections. And it's not that we're being pushy, but we are trying to be solution driven and give our hosts solutions to what may be blocking them. So, what can we say for I'm too busy? What's something that you might be able to come back with?
Well, one thing that I have answered back several times with is, oh, I hear you. I know that, life can get busy, but did you know that if we do a virtual party, it can fit into any schedule? You don't have to be on the computer at a certain time. Like you can check as you have time and you know, comment on your breaks or whatever. So
Okay.
something to that.
Perfect. You're going after a virtual party, but what if you wanted a live party? Maybe this is somebody that lives near you and you wanted to go after the live party first. Because if she says no to a live party, then it's going to be easy to come back with a virtual party and or a catalog party, right? So let's say it's somebody that's close to you that you want to make her a live show. What would you say? Or what could you say?
I would probably first ask a few more questions like, you know, yeah, I know how many hours, but, you know, do you work weekends too? Or, you know, something like that to just to feel out if there are any open spaces to fit in like a live show, like whether it's like on a Saturday evening or a Sunday afternoon or, you know, whatever, you know, find out if she's actually working 24/7.
Yeah. And so one of the ways I sort of handle that, so that they don't feel like I'm, you know, probing too much, I may say, if I can find a way to help you fit it in, would you want to hear more information about how we could do that? And then that way you're kind of getting their permission to go there. Well, how would a Saturday or Sunday work? You know what I mean? So I always try to sort of tuck that in my back pocket. If I can help you with show you a way that, you know, we can make this happen and make this work, do you want to hear more? They might be just saying I'm too busy because they don't really want to have a show and they don't know how to say no. So getting permission to move forward is good because you're kind of engaging them and they're on the same plane with you. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's also, here's an idea that somebody else wrote down here. Let's see. Let's see if that one is actually addressed. Too busy. What I'm doing right now, Erin, is I'm kind of putting some objections together in a Word document and some verbiage that Pampered Chef suggests, some verbiage that I use, trying to find verbiage from other people because we all say it a little differently. So that kind of gets your mind working. So, maybe she doesn't, this gal, I pulled some information from another person that had talked about objections a little bit. And so I want to see if she has, because the one that you brought up is just so huge. It's one of the ones we hear all the time. Okay, I'm too busy. Oh, okay, here's one. Here's what she says. When someone says, I'm too busy, she says, oh, I understand completely. Who isn't so busy these days? That means you have a lot of people to invite and you would have a very successful party. She's just assuming the booking. A Pampered Chef party is quick. Now she's going after live. A Pampered Chef party is quick, a fun 45-minute demonstration gathering would during the week or the weekend be better for your schedule. Moving forward with it, which is, I mean, seriously, that's just another way to do it. So when handling an objection like, I'm too busy, I understand completely. Who isn't busy these days? That means you have a lot of people to invite and you'd have a very successful party. A Pampered Chef party is a quick, fun 45-minute gathering, or you could say demonstration, or cooking class, whatever you want to put there, or party. Would during the week or the weekend be better for your schedule? So she's just assuming the booking, right? She's totally acknowledging this woman's frustration. That's what you always want to do is have the empathy first. So I think that's pretty interesting. Would you use that? Do you feel?
I don't know. Maybe with some people, but I don't think I could use it with everyone.
Okay.
Because you'd have to, I feel like I would have to know the person a little better to be able to assume something like that.
Right. She is assuming the sale, isn't she? She's assuming the booking, but it's an idea. Now you could take some of what she said and add it. So like what I said is, hey, if I can give you some pointers on how we can make this work and fit into your schedule, would you like to hear more? And then you could say, you know, I love the fact that you're busy, because I'm going to tell you right now that 90% of my hosts that are super busy have a really successful party. This means you know a lot of people and you're networking and you're out and about. You know, you're just busy with life, and I totally get it. So would you be interested in just getting some friends and family together? I have these some new recipes for spring that I really want to try out. Love to get some feedback from you and your friends and family on how to get a meal on the table in 30 minutes or less. You know, especially if, you know, you're talking to somebody that has kids and, you know, they're in baseball and soccer and they're all these sports. I mean, going down that road with a 30-minute or less, or, you know, how you can prepare meals for the week so that you can just cook them quick and easy and just grab and go. Would that be something you might want to hear more about? And then stop. So yes, I agree with you. I think you have to make it your own. So you maybe using what I told you and then pulling some of what she says in, you know, would be, and I'm going to suggest, Erin, that you write some of this down so that you have it like easily to cut and paste.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm writing it down. I'll type it later.
Put it in a Word doc or put it in OneNote, or put it, you know, if you're reaching out to people on your computer, put it somewhere where you can grab it and then tweak it so that you're not writing it out every single time. And the same with your phone, as you know. Keep it in your notes so that you can just copy and paste it and then tweak it for the person. And that's going to save you a lot of time. Okay, let's talk about another objection. What was the other one you mentioned? I don't know enough people, did you say?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's see if she has something for that. I don't know enough people. You could respond. Well, I want you to have a super duper successful party, and I'm going to help you brainstorm a list of people to invite. We already know when people say, I don't know enough people, you know way more people than what they're even thinking about, because they're thinking about their immediate family or their immediate, you know, few friends that they hang out with. So that's our job, is to give them a solution to over-inviting. And that's part of our host coaching too. That's where I give them permission to mix groups and all that. So but a quick answer could be, I want you to have a super successful party, and I'm going to help you brainstorm a list of people to invite. There are tons of people who love Pampered Chef. You'll be surprised at how many names you're going to be able to think of to invite with my help. Okay, so you're kind of giving her a solution to that issue. Do you feel like, is that something you could say?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I may say it like, you know what, I always partner with my hosts to help you have a super successful party. And you're not going to be in this alone. I'm going to help you brainstorm people that you can invite. And here's the other thing I love to do, Erin, you're my host. If I get any of my customers that want to order, I always stick them on your show to help boost your sales as well. Because we're in this together, and they love that, and I do that. I'm not able to do that as much as I used to, because people order on my website, you know? And then I'm like, oh shoot, that was an $89 order that I could have totally put on the show. You know what I mean? You know, when you have people reaching out to you, especially if you're running a sale and they have to contact you directly for the discount, you can always add those orders to her party, and you'll help, you know, boost her party. 50% of my shows I help with orders. Is that something you can say, do you think?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. And yeah, I've done the same thing. I've put orders under my daughter's and my husband's names different times in different parties to help help people out. So
if she still gives you some, feedback that she just doesn't feel like she could invite enough people, then you could go to the co-host situation. I don't know that you just necessarily want to go there immediately, but I always go to the co-host. If they feel like I'm looking for a live show and their house is too small or it's under construction right now, so they don't want to do a show yet, I always say, well, here's another thing to think about, because I really want you to take advantage of this March amazing host incentive, is you can co-host with a sister or mom, or if you have a clubhouse, nearby or anything like that. But if you want to co-host, you guys just split the goodies, split the, host benefits. And then it's not all up to you to invite. Your sister, your mom, your friend could also help invite to really get that party going. And here's another thing I like to do, Erin. On all of my invitations, I say, bring a friend and they get a gift when they do that. Now that's with a live show, but you can also use it for a virtual party. Just so that I always post when people invite their friends and tag me, they get extra tickets or extra, entries into my end of the show drawing. Or you could do an early bird drawing and have them in that. So you can definitely use those things to entice people that they're not on their own here. We're gonna have people help. Okay. So objections, we need to give them a solution. They're solution driven. They're red flags, they're objections. Doesn't mean it's a no. And most people, when they have a solution, will say yes. But when we as consultants just end it right there with their objection, and we don't push a little bit farther to make sure they understand we're going to be partnering and helping them, then it's a no every time. So we have to learn to be better about pushing through objections. If you have you had another objection, like maybe a recruiting objection that we want to discuss right now? Those are mostly for bookings, but we get objections for all kinds of stuff, right? So what kind of a recruiting objection? I know the money was an issue with that one consultant. Now, is she going to sign this month still?
Huh?
Is your consultant that had an issue, is she still going to sign this month?
So that took another funny turn. She actually had an interview for another job this past week. And I mean, I've been contacting her like every other week or, checking in with her. And she's like, oh, well, what's funny? I have an interview this week. I'm like, oh. So anyway, it went well, but she still wants to join Pampered Chef. But if she's starting this job, and I'm going to contact her again this coming week just to see how things are going, she'll probably want to wait just a little bit because she doesn't want to start two things all at once. So she still wants to join. And if she does get this other job, that means she'll have a little extra money, which means that might not be a big problem anymore. But it's just pushing. Yeah, exactly. It's just pushing her joining a little further off. So
okay.
Anyway, so it's still in the works, but probably not this month.
You know what? I love the fact that you're staying in contact with her. Not everyone's gonna jump when we say how high, It's a warm lead, right?
Yes.
It's not a cold lead, it's a warm lead. So, timing is everything with people. So awesome. And when she would have said to me, yeah, I have a job interview, I would have gone, woohoo! Then that means you'll have money to buy the cat. That's a good answer to prayer, right?
Right.
Right over there. Okay. Well, if you have any other objections, go ahead and post them to our Director Bound page, and we can all work together to maybe come up with some verbiage that might help.
Okay. Yeah.
Sometimes these things are hard to think through. They don't just. If you don't have the mind that they just pop into your mind, I mean, for me, it's kind of like I needed to hear dialogue from other people.
Mm-hmm.
To go, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I like that. You know, I'm not always super creative with dialogue.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had a few other objections. People that are interested, but it's like further down the road, I guess.
Okay.
So, I mean, one of them is she's in school right now, nursing school, so she's very busy and can't devote time to a business. So she wants to wait until she's out of nursing school. And so I'm like, well, what exactly can I say to that? I mean, I understand that's very demanding. But
I would probably go the virtual show route with her and say, here's some food for thought is what I'd say. You know, something just to think about. Because you're in school right now. If you do need some extra income, this Pampered Chef, being a virtual show consultant, could be a great way for you to go. Because I mean, you can do one show a month and bring in $100, you know, extra just on one party, 100 plus. I mean, I just closed out $2,000 shows. Now they were live, they weren't virtual. My virtual show average is definitely less, but you and I both know, you know, that it's not that hard to squeeze in a virtual party, especially, you know, she could do a 3-day, she could do a 1 hour, she could do a 1 day. There was an idea that was just shared on our last training call. You were on the Dejan call, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Natasha shared you only have to invite 9 people.
Oh, the 911?
Yeah, the 911 party. I thought that was a really great idea. In fact, I think I had heard that idea before and just totally forgot to share it with our team. But sometimes my brain gets overloaded. But yeah, having her only have to invite 9 people and having each of them invite 1, and then your nurse who's in school could just do a 1 hour demo live, you know, on Facebook. So that's 1 hour of her time. And then she could just leave the party open for 3 or 4 days. She could set up her posts on SendShare, so they're posting without her even having to post. So we can make this more simple for people. So I guess I would approach her as, if you need some income and you're kind of feeling like, yeah, I could really use an extra $100 or $200 a month, and I am happy to show you how you can work a virtual business around going to school. If I could show you that, do you want to hear more? That way she can shut you down and say, no, I'm not interested, and you know she's not. Or maybe you've just solved a solution for her.
Yeah.
If I could show you how is always a great one-liner to remember. If I could partner with you and show you how, would you want to hear more? I use that a lot. It gives me a sense of if they're trying to just blow me off, if she's really, really not interested. If I could give her a solution to her busyness while she's in school, and she could make $100 or $200 a month, would she want to know more? And if she doesn't, then you can say, okay, when's a good time for me to check back with you? But at least you've explored that option. You haven't taken it off the table. Okay?
Yep.
That makes sense? Okay, let's look at this Facebook party tracker. So this is the next tracking page I'm going to start having you use. And it's pretty easy. It's a numbers thing, so that we need to kind of see what's happening with our shows. So the first category is, how many shows do we have? And if we're shooting for 6, we need to be having 6 hosts down here. And usually you need to at least pad it by 1 or 2, because some shows don't end up even being a show, as we know. And some people reschedule. So, you know, if you want really 6 solid shows on the books, then you should probably shoot for 8, just to make sure that you do have the 6. Then the next category is the number of guests per show. So you can track that on virtual shows as well. I've noticed that my number of guests are way lower than they used to be. I shoot for 30 to 50 people in a show. Remember how hosts used to dump them? Like 2 years ago, I'd have 200 people in my show. And I saw that having 200 people, really my show sales were not any higher than having 30 to 50. That really did not make or break my show, having that many in it. As you know, a lot of people just don't even engage at all. It's harder to get people into a group or an event these days. So my show, my average customer, my shows lately have been really low, way too low. So when I see that only 12 people or 13 people are in my party, then a small percentage of that is 10 or 20%, 15% are going to be participating. 10 to 15% participate of how many numbers you have in there, how many people you have in there. So when you know that, then you got to work to get more people into that show. I encourage the host to do it. I think she invites and people don't say going. And that's kind of a roadblock right now with Facebook. Trying to encourage her to reach out to those people that haven't said going yet. I try to do that. How is that going for you, by the way, in your virtual shows?
It depends on the host. I know that I have 2 parties, well, one that's going right now and then one that's just starting. It's actually starting tomorrow. We're working on getting people into the group today. And so far she's got 5 people. She's got a bunch invited, but 5 people in. So I'm going to be sending her a message later saying, we're getting a couple people in. That's great, but we really need some more in order to make this party successful or whatever.
Yeah.
Haven't thought through the message yet, but something like that.
Do you give your hosts messages to send out to their customers or their friends?
I do that for the invitation. I send them words and an image. Depending on how the party is going, yeah, I will send them more messages, telling people what's going on and, how to join the party and whatever. But it really depends on how the party is going and also how responsive the host has been too. Some of my hosts have been really good, and then I've got some that, I give them all sorts of ideas, tips on what we can do to get people involved, and nothing happens. So it all depends on the host.
Yeah,
too.
when you're saying, please tag your friends on this post, and they don't, you're like,
like, I can't tag them. You have to.
Well, I do tag people. The people that are in the party, I tag. You can tag them. So that's what I've been doing when the host just doesn't do it. I just tag them because I'm like, I can't ask you 5 times. I've already asked you 4, So then I'll just do it. But I think giving the host the words to say is going to be important, and it's something I don't always do. I give them words to say and an image of an invitation as well. But I think following up with words to say to reach out to the people that, still need to say going is going to be good. Again, having that in a Word doc so that you can just copy and paste, having it on your phone so you can copy and paste. I think 80% of your hosts are going to need words to say. They just don't want to even think about it. Or they'll just send the image out again, which isn't necessarily encouraging anyone to come, right? So coming up with the words to say, keeping it short and sweet, because people don't read long messages at all. And if you need help with that, let me know. All right. Keeping track on this tracker is going to be great as we have the number of guests that were invited. Again, it's going to look a little bit different because even though she invites 100 people, that they're not all saying that they're coming. So keeping track of that and what your goal is. What is your goal on a virtual party? How many people would you like to see in that group?
At least 30.
Okay.
Because that's a pretty good number to start with.
I agree.
Because obviously not all of them are going to order, but if you have 30, you should have enough that will order to make the party a pretty good success.
So 10%, 10 to 15% will participate.
Mm-hmm.
And she may be able to get outside orders, especially if you're enticing her to do that. And then reach out to people that have maybe said they wanted to order but haven't yet, and that kind of thing. You know that around 15 orders equals $1,000 show. That's true of a live show. It takes a few more orders with a virtual party. I would say more like when I coach a virtual show host, I'll say 15 to 20. Really, you need about 15 to 20 orders and you'll have $1,000 party with a ton of freebies. And then I go over that. I have her flip the catalog over and I go over what $1,000 party looks like in my host coaching. Did you see the balloon idea that I posted to the team page yesterday with popping a balloon?
I did, and I downloaded the images because I was like, oh, that's a cool idea.
I think
would you post that in the party for everybody to see? Okay. For each order?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So, because you're going to do a drawing once you hit 20. You're going to do a drawing for the people that order.
Okay, so you'd post like the original balloon one at like the beginning of the party and say for each balloon or each order we'll pop a balloon, and when we pop them all we'll do a drawing or something?
Yes.
Okay.
And maybe have something big, something bigger. Maybe a $10, $15 item. Because it's not going to cost you $10 or $15, right? Unless it does, it's not going to cost me $10 or $15, but I have to pay for postage because I'm on direct ship. So when people order, they pull the plug on their order. I can't add anything to it. But yeah, I mean, after 20 orders, how often are you really going to have to give anything away anyway? But the excitement is popping the balloons to see if you can get to 20.
Yeah.
20 is a lot. So, that's awesome. That's $1,000 party on a virtual party. You could even just do 10 orders or 15. It depends on what your goal is. Kind of like 15, because I think 20 is a lot to push for.
Yeah, but if you have $10 orders, you're going to need all of those.
That's true. Definitely you will. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to have to look and see what my average customer order is on a virtual party, because I know it's definitely lower than on a live. Mm-hmm. I just did $2,000 parties, and I think one was 12 orders and one was 13 orders. And they were both over 1,000. One was 1,200. Wow. This last one was 13 orders with $1,200 in sales. So the live parties are just so much easier to get to that $1,000 show level than the virtuals. About the virtual party average, though, do you know what the company party average is, by the way?
No.
It's around 600.
Okay.
So that's an average across the U.S. And I don't really know that Pampered Chef delineates. I would say that's for live. 600 is live. I would say it's probably more like, 400 to 500 for a virtual is probably an average. So I think virtuals are a little bit less on average. Of course, there's those people out there that do virtuals and they're amazing with them. So getting the host to get outside orders is going to be a key. So perhaps you can give an incentive to the host on a virtual party when she hits 20 orders or 15 orders, however you want to look at it, and then give something away or give entries to the end of the show drawing. But I think giving an extra something away to all the people that order is pretty enticing to order.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, I would really think about that before you post how you want to run that show with the balloon idea. But I think it's a cute one. Mm-hmm. Okay, overall party sales is the next category. And you definitely want to know what your show average is. Do you know what your show average is?
I want to say it's about 300 or 400. I don't have very many high shows recently.
Okay. And how
And
many?
the highest I've ever gotten was an $800 show.
And that was a live?
No, it was a virtual.
Okay.
Well, it was both, actually. It was a virtual into a live, back into a virtual, basically. It was an interesting one.
Well, what's going to be really good about knowing what your party average is to be able to increase it. So once we know what it is, then we can kind of think about ways that you can increase it. And I think what we'll do, Erin, because we need to do a one-on-one goal setting anyway for Disney, let's figure all of that out. And I can go over ways that you can increase your party average, the ways you can increase your guest attendance, the ways you can increase your definitely increase your average customer order. All of those things are good to know because, you know, we want to go up. We never want to go down, but we want to go up from our base. And there's ways we can do it. And it's a numbers game. So the ways that we do it, you can kind of track it and see if it's working. So that kind of, you know, gives you a really good clue. And having the numbers right here will really help you. So we'll go over all of your averages. The number of bookings. Having your hosts, and we've talked about this a little bit, having your hosts help you get bookings is going to be really important. The average number of bookings with Pampered Chef is 2 per show. 3 really is going to give you a really healthy business to try to get 3 bookings per show. Do you know what your booking average is per show?
1 or 2.
Okay.
Yeah, again, it depends on the party. It depends on the host.
Yeah, so if you decide that you're not going to take anything less than 2, that every show you do, your mantra is at least 2 bookings or 3 bookings every show. You're telling your brain that, right? Then you're going to work a little harder before you close that show out to make sure you get that 2nd booking or that 3rd booking. And you're going to ask the host to help you with that. What, you know, Susie, you had like some really fun people on your show, on your virtual party that participated. Who of those people do you think would be a great host? Would you be willing to reach out to them with some verbiage I give you about hosting? You know, you're a host, you're getting free things, you're getting half price items, you're getting discounts. They're going to believe you over me. Plus, how hard was having the show? How much work and effort was it for you? Would you be willing to reach out to 3 of your friends and let them know how much fun it was to have a show? Most of the time, they say yes. And I say, because here's what's in it for you. And the reason why I like to do this is because your friends are going to believe you over me. I know having a show is really fun, and I know hosts get a ton of free, but they're going to believe you over me, and these are your friends. So if you will do that, and you get 3 bookings on my calendar, then you get, not only do you get a 50% off item on their show, I'm going to give you $50 in Pampered Chef product after the 3rd show is held. $50. Wow! You know, you get excited about what you're offering. And on every, I think I showed you this. On every party I do, I put this, gosh, I just got to get one made here. I make them as I go rather than have a bunch of them made up. So it's a referral. It's called, this is a gift certificate. It looks like this, but it's a blue Pampered Chef logo and it says referral up here. And I put this coupon, I covered this area right here with the 3 booking idea. And I put it in every host packet. And then I'm reminded to talk about it. It's something new I'm doing. And I'm really trying to get my hosts on board with helping me get bookings. And then on the back, it's how to redeem it. And if they can get 3 bookings for me, then they can keep this. I put the host name here. But they get $50 in product. I haven't given anyone $50 away yet because I haven't gotten 3 bookings yet. But I just started this like last month. I just started this. And I keep forgetting to always talk about it. So it's something that is going to be on your host coaching sheet to talk about. And then you're going to talk about it during the course of your virtual party too. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So trying to get her to help you get bookings, it's not just up to you. Reaching out to people that are super involved on your shows is a great way, you know, to get bookings. Like, oh my gosh, you'd be such a great host. You're already so involved in this party. I mean, obviously, but having her reach out to people too is going to be very helpful. Do you have hosts do that right now? Have you kind of adapted that whole idea?
Not yet. I'm actually thinking of incorporating it into the party that I have right now. She's got a lot of several involved people, depending on the games and stuff. There's I think about 6 that have been really involved. So I was gonna talk to her and say, you know, you guys, several people that have been really involved in some of these games. Do you think they'd be interested in hosting their own party? Or whatever. I hadn't really thought out the message yet.
Yeah, think about the message and then you take command, and it's like, can you think of 3 people?
Mm-hmm.
3 of your friends that are party girls that you think would make great hosts. And then you can stop right there. And then if they give you the names, then you can say, awesome. If they give you the names, that's even better because you can reach out to them too. But then you're going to have the host reach out to them. I have done this definitely on a post before, where I talk to the host and I'll do, you know, it's a booking post, and I'll say, will you comment below on how easy this was to host? And then I have them do that.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, you guys, you really need to consider hosting. It is so much fun and it's easy. Mary does so much of the work. You know, it's not a huge effort on your part. You know, they'll comment on the post, the host will. But then I want them to also reach out to people too. So, you know, it's like when you're thinking about working, you're working right now. You want to just pull out all the stops to get as much from that time you're working as possible, right? Okay, and then recruit leads, kind of the same thing. See if you can get your host to tell you, your host is always the person you're going to talk to. Right? And the rule of thumb is 5 times. Ask a host 5 times. I'm going to post that 5 times again to our director bound group, the 5-time flyer. But you're going to ask the host 5 times. Yvonne Patricia says she was our circle of honor and she's on our team. She says 5 times minimum in the beginning, and then, oh my gosh, you know, have you even thought about doing this? Look at how many people are involved in your party. You know, look what you can get, you know, but she reaches out 5 different times. And I'm going to be interviewing her. So it'll be the very beginning of March, and we'll talk about that again, how she words it and when she reaches out during the 5 times and what she says. That will help. Okay, so keeping track, there's an in-home at the bottom here, because I know that you sort of do both, in-home and virtual parties. So the categories are pretty self-explanatory there. Okay. So does this tracker look like something that you can see yourself using?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you can just have it for each month. Now I've got, this is kind of fun, built into my planner. This is a planner that some executives put together after our executive seminar, and it's really thick. I think I showed you this. But the February hosts are right here. And a lot of the information that's on this tracker is in these boxes. that you, and I can print this page off. I can scan this page and show you. It's just another way to keep the information. And then there's like, what's really nice about this is like your February goals and all the stuff you can fill out. So it is a planner that I just am using for the first time and getting used to it and really, really like it. So
that's really cool.
If I like it, then I'm definitely going to try to get one of these next year too, again. You still might be able to get them if you don't have a good planner, but I think for now, just using some of these sheets will be helpful to stick in there. Whoop. All right. So that's really what I wanted to cover today is utilizing this new tracking system. So you've got a system for your customer care to log all of your contacts. As they say no, write down what is actually happening for them to say no. Write down kind of how you pursued it and then how they said no, and is that no forever? Is that no until, you know, they want you to reach back in 3 months? Get really specific with what's happening on those calls, because I'd like to maybe spend some time doing some of the red flag overcoming objections again. That's a big part of, you know, I know a lot of consultants, because I'm the same way and I was the same way, is you just let things go pretty easily. And again, if you think in your brain, hey, they just need a solution, and you ask them more questions to find out, is that the issue? They just need a solution. If it's not the issue, they'll let you know, and if it's a firm no, then you just move on. But you don't want to exhaust the conversation until you've like fully, hit every point. And you're not being pushy, you're just really asking questions. You're getting really permission, especially when you say, hey, if I can show you, or if I can help you, or, if I can partner with you and show you how to have a successful show, if I can partner with you and show you how you might how you can think out of the box to invite people, are you interested in hearing more? You're just getting permission from them to do that. All right, any questions?
No, not right now.
Okay.
Lot to absorb.